Ready, Greg? Look back at 2025. Take a deep breath, let it out. Now come join me in 2026. Welcome to everyone here in person today and to everyone who is visiting our service from home. We Unitarians of Lake Norman are an open and inclusive congregation. Our members walk diverse paths to find meaning and purpose, but we are united in our belief in the inherent worth and dignity of all, and by the responsibility to express our faith through acts of justice and compassion. My name is Tim Brown. I've been a Unitarian since 2007 and an active member of this congregation since 2018. We also have a key person in our excellent music department with us today, Teresa Woody. And on with the service. Eat, drink, be merry. On the last Sunday of both the calendar year and the church year, it's important to take stock. Feel some gratitude even for those among us who believe there is nobody to whom to be grateful. Unitarian Universalists in the modern world honor all kinds of celebrations, holy days, holidays, and combination thereof. We will have just past Christmas and the burning of the Yule Log by adherents of the nature-based religions. In a few more days, there will be eating and drinking and merrymaking to welcome the new year. We start our service and other activities by lighting the candle inside the chalice as we speak the words that call us to that occasion. Please join me in saying today's chalice lighting words, which are in your order of service. We light this flaming chalice to illuminate the world we seek. In our search for truth, may we be just. In our search for justice, may we be loving. In loving, may we find peace. Pat?
I've had a request during a recent gathering that we spend a little more time in silence as we open our service. So take a deep breath and enjoy the silence for a moment. We used to do that in the Spartanburg congregation, and one service leader decided that 5 minutes would be a good idea. And it was later reported that asking Unitarian Universalists to remain silent for 5 minutes is darn near impossible. He said it was the awfulest squirming crowd he'd ever seen. I want to add my words of welcome to Ron and Rosemary. Thank you all so much for coming. They found us, Greg, through YouTube. So we're doing good, Bo. We're doing good. And I want to thank Dory King for being here. Dory has recruited me to be part of a committee that is organizing an interfaith Thanksgiving service next year for Mooresville, which may mean that I will need to attend some meetings. And therefore, I'm very angry with Dory. But I'll get over it. And I want to thank Al for showing up. Thank you for being here today. It's good to have you. It's good to have all of you here. Our opening words come from the great poet John Greenleaf Whittier. A little smile, a word of cheer, a bit of love from someone near, a little gift from one dear, best wishes for the coming year. And from Shaky Bill Shakespeare, he said, "This our life, exempt from public haunt, finds tongues in trees, books in running brooks, sermons in stones, and good in everything. I would not change it."
Please stay seated comfortably as George leads us in song, sings the song for us. No, Teresa's turn. My instructions say centering music.
After centering music.
Oh, she's before and he's after. Not clear instructions.
She's during, and he's after.
All right, let's do it that way.
Ambient sound, I think. Several days ago, Pat sent me a text, asked me if I would do this song. This will be only the second time I've ever tried to do this song in front of people out of the thousands of jam sessions that I've been in over my life. So we hope we do it justice. It is about an incident that happened in at Christmas of 1914. And I'm here to dispel the vicious rumor that I witnessed this event. I learned about it through one of the two top folk songs of 1984, written by John McCutcheon, and the name of the song is Christmas in the Trenches. My name is Francis Tolliver. I come from Liverpool. 2 years ago, the war was waiting for me after school. To Belgium and to Flanders, to Germany, to here. I fought for king and country I hold dear. It was Christmas in the trenches, where the frost so bitter hung. The frozen fields of France were still, no Christmas songs were sung. Our family is back in England, were toasting us that day. Their brave and glorious lads so far away. I was lying with my messmate on the cold and rocky ground, when across the lines of battle came a most peculiar sound. Says I, now listen up, me boys, each soldier strained to hear, as one young German voice sang out so clear. He's singing bloody well, you know, my partner says to me. Soon one by one, each German voice joined in harmony. The cannons rested silent, the gas clouds rolled no more, as Christmas brought us respite from the war. And as soon as they were finished, and a reverent pause was spent. God rest you, merry gentlemen, struck up some lads from Kent. And next they sang the steely night, 'tis silent night, says I, and in two tongues one song filled up that sky. There's someone coming toward us, the frontline sentry cried. All sights were fixed on one lone figure coming from their side. His truce flag like a Christmas star shone on that plain so bright, as he bravely strode unarmed into the night. Soon one by one on either side, all walked into no man's land. With neither gun nor bayonet, we met there hand to hand. We shared some secret brandy, and we wished each other well. And in a flare-lit soccer game, we gave them hell. We traded chocolate, cigarettes, and photographs from home. These sons and fathers far away from families of their own. Young Sanders played a squeeze box and they had a violin. This curious and unlikely band of men. Soon daylight stole upon us, and France was France once more. With sad farewells we each began to settle back to war. But the question haunted every heart that lived that wondrous night, whose family have I fixed within my sights? 'Twas Christmas in the trenches where the frost so bitter hung. The frozen fields of France were warmed as songs of peace were sung. For the walls that kept between us to exact the work of war had been crumbled and were gone forevermore. Well, my name is Francis Tolliver, in Liverpool I dwell. Each Christmas come since World War I, I've learned its lessons well. That the ones who call the shots won't be among the dead and lame, and on each end of the rifle we're the same.
Now, Pat, we'll talk about how to eat, drink, and be merry.
As soon as George started singing, my entire body was covered with cold chills, and they stayed that way the whole way through. And I noticed a number of us were wiping tears. I had lunch with a buddy of mine from high school on Friday, and we talked about the egos of ministers. It's not a topic I'm very comfortable with. But he said, I've known lots of ministers who have huge, insufferable egos. He said, doesn't it come from the fact that a minister is supposed to take a specific topic, a specific piece of sacred writing, and expand on it, expound on it, and then everybody in the room is supposed to believe what he said? And I said, no. That is not what Unitarian Universalist ministers do. I said, we are the congregation of or not. A lot of churches have amen corners. We have an or not corner. And that's because people are perfectly free to disagree with me and with each other. And one of the hallmarks of this particular congregation is that it almost never happens. We are incredibly agreeable. And sometimes we dread the thought of when that might go away. But so far we get along well. But we certainly don't agree about theology. I told him we have Buddhists, we have Jews, we have some Christians. Something is going on with this speaker, Doug. Does it need to be turned down? It's talking to me. It's cracking and fizzling. it's not bothering anybody else. I'll just go on. But nobody else can hear it, is what Doug said. So we have all kinds of religious traditions represented in this room at this moment. And that's part of the genius of who we are. We're sort of the United Nations of religions. And it's wonderful. Religious freedom is important to us. And the ongoing practice of our religion, which to many of us is not even a religion, it's personal. It's very personal to us that we believe that everybody has a right to believe what they believe. I'll never forget being in a talk back at the Spartanburg congregation, and there was a young man standing at the back of the room. I can still see him. This has been probably 30 years ago, and he had on a golf shirt and a pair of jeans, and he looked out at the crowd who was there for the talk back, and he said, you know, the great thing about this gathering is none of us believes the same thing. We all believe different things, and that's okay. He said at the churches down the road, they all believe different things too, but they lie to each other that they believe the same thing. Now, Dory, don't go back to St. Patrick's and say I said that, okay? Religion is obviously ritualistic and requires certain repetitive acts of loyalty. That's why I think the National Football League and the freedom to operate an automobile constitute religions in our modern world. If you're looking for an object of worship among your friends and neighbors, look no further than the horseless carriage, the automobile. Consumerism, materialism, overeating, any addictions, all these things take on a quality of religion because they are widespread and supported by others with the same passions. Passion is an important word right here, right now. Daddy was much more passionate about the North Carolina State University Wolfpack than he was the United Methodist Church. That's just who he was. I used to kid him that he could get more excited about State scoring a touchdown than spending eternity in heaven with Jesus. And he said they're entirely different experiences. My beloved Gabriel calls our local discount grocery store her temple. Not only does she worship the low prices, but she has made friends with many of her fellow shoppers. And that is the key. Friendship, common interests, like-mindedness. No religious organization exists without people who see themselves in the others around them. This place may be an exception to that. We do have atheists and Buddhists and Jews who gather right along with people who have strong feelings about the spirit world, but no words to which attach those feelings. You know who you are. As Mary Helen Hensley pointed out when she was here, we are rich in diversity. And let me take a moment here to thank Mary Nicholson for stealing this sermon from me this morning. She's already said everything I'm about to say, but she did it so well, you'll probably notice the similarities. We are diverse. We practice and believe in mutual respect. We believe in each other. Some of us may worship the flying spaghetti monster, but we don't care. We're not going to put you down for worshiping the flying spaghetti monster. It is our caring that mitigates our being amazed that you would worship the flying spaghetti monsters, because we care for you. We care about you. We care deeply about anything that brings you here. We care about your families and friends. We care about Lynn Henderson's husband and her similarities to Mary, his similarities to Mary Nicholson's husband. We care. And if you happen to belong to some weird religion, at least a religion that might be seen as weird in the opinion of other people, we will transcend that weirdness and take you for who you are in a larger sense of the word. We care about each other. Many of you know the work of Brian Stevenson at the Equal Justice Initiative in Montgomery. He has gotten many people out of jail who were wrongly convicted. And he was the primary mover and shaker in the U.S. Supreme Court, making the execution of juveniles illegal. Did you know that in the United States today, we no longer execute juveniles because the Supreme Court has ruled it to be cruel and unusual punishment, prohibited by the Constitution. Now, I told you all that to tell you this. Brian Stevenson says nobody should be defined by the worst thing they ever did. Isn't that something to think about? None of us would want to be, look at me looking at George. None of us would want to be defined by the worst thing we ever did. And certainly we would not want to go to prison for the worst thing that we ever did. Our acceptance of each other in this room is like that. That's what this is like. Our passion for mutual respect means we will never pigeonhole you or make fun of you or banish you just because you might worship the flying spaghetti monster. We accept mutual respect as perhaps the dearest value in this room. If not the dearest, certainly top 5. Now, where am I going with all this? Isn't it pretty obvious to the most casual observer? Yes. And it is essential as we approach New Year's Eve, as we get ready to sing Auld Lang Syne and hope for a better 2026, it is most essential that we eat, drink, and be merry. I'm recommending it highly. Some of you may be like Gabriel and me. We know that the new year begins in New Zealand early Wednesday morning. So we can sing and dance all day long Wednesday and then go to bed at 9 o'clock like we always do. We don't have to ring in the new year at midnight. I can't tell you when I last saw midnight. Regardless of how you celebrate, regardless of whether you go to bed at 9 o'clock or 9:45, it is a time to celebrate. It is a time to count blessings, call old friends and family on the telephone, and wish each other well. It is a time to celebrate. Yes, we may have success in the midterm elections. Yes, your team may win the Super Bowl. Yes, some of us may even buy winning lottery tickets. I was in the home of a millionaire the other day, guy getting ready to part, and I couldn't help but notice that he had several lottery tickets lying around. I thought maybe that's the way. I don't know. But New Year's Eve and the beginning of the new year in New Zealand is a cause for those of us in this room to celebrate because we have each other. We are here. Yes, first and foremost, for what we get out of it. We come to learn, to interact in ways that benefit us as individuals, but we also come for mutual respect and support. None of us who saw it will ever forget the way Mike Alec was supported the day he broke his kneecap. He was surrounded by so many of us who refused to leave until we knew that he was going to be taken care of. Jeff and Paula even went with him to the hospital. Our legions of knee replacements, George Bames' pacemaker, Mary Nicholson's and Natalie Hellig's open heart surgery have called us to our best behaviors, and we have answered that call. What happens here and what will keep on happening here is plenty of reason to eat, drink, and be merry. On New Year's Eve and maybe a little bit after if you want to keep it up. And again, let me make this very personal. As a white-haired character about to turn 72, with children and grandchildren all over the world, I will confess to you again that I am twice divorced, gone broke in business 3 times, and been fired from 4 jobs. both my high school principal and the dean of students at my college, both of them, are you listening to me? Both of them approached me as I was about to graduate and said, "How come I never kicked you out of here?" To which I replied, "Why would you imagine kicking me out of here?" My life has been shaken like beans in a coffee can, and yet you all still let me come over here on Sunday afternoons. In 5.5 years, I have been so touched and encouraged by your love. If you love each other half as well as you have loved me, New Year's Eve will definitely be a time to eat, drink, and be merry. Go for it. Have a wonderful time. My daddy was an insufferable narcissist. He thought the Lord had done well to bring him into the world. And the rest of us ought to appreciate him as much as he appreciated himself. He saw himself as God's gift to anybody he got close to, including perfect strangers standing in line waiting to pay the bill in a restaurant. He hated standing in line, so he would turn to whoever was near him and he would say, "During World War II, I landed with General Mark Clark at Anzio and Interno. And I was in more danger riding over here in an automobile than I was in that war." Doubtless, every stranger he told that to was moved by his good fortune. Despite his penchant for self-glorification, he did have one phrase he would often use when leaving a party or a family gathering. He would ask, "Didn't we have a good time? Didn't we have a good time?" So one more time, let me encourage you to celebrate in the coming days, weeks, and months. Regardless of what else happens, be willing to ask those around you, "Didn't we have a good time?" Okay, let's talk about it, Tim Brown.
This is what y'all been waiting for. This is the part of our service where you all are invited to offer your thoughts, comments, and questions about today's sermon. If you come up to the microphone, the people at home can both see you and hear you. But we do have a traveling mic that can be brought to you directly if you wish. Please come on up. Come on, give them a hard time. Come on, come on. So, Pat, I have a question.
All right.
I already got my mic.
You already got mine.
I got one personal. Doug signed it on here for me. Pat, what are you looking forward to in 2026?
Well, I'm looking forward to Roy Cooper being elected to the U.S. Senate. I'm looking forward to James Tallarico representing Texas in the U.S. Senate. Thank you, Greg. The rest of y'all now have a commission to go look up James Tallarico. He is 36 years old, y'all, and he told Joe Rogan that he wanted to serve a small church. He's in seminary right now, and he said he wanted to serve a small church. So I guess he's thinking about the Democrats in the U.S. Senate as a small church. That's the only thing I can figure. But he's wonderful. He's running in Texas. I look forward to Tim Moore being defeated. That would be a miracle.
It would be a miracle.
Yeah.
I live in his district. Where are you thinking of?
I'm looking forward to Democrats taking the House back and Mr. Jeffries being the new Speaker of the House. I'm looking forward to Donald Trump dying very peacefully in his sleep one night, and then J.D. Vance stepping on a rake and hitting himself in the face. That's probably enough of an answer.
Should I be sorry I asked?
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Sue has something she wants.
I'm just going to say I appreciate the topic of this today. I went to college at a Quaker college from 1968 to 1972. And all of you who went at some other time in life and did not go through Kent State and did not go through a lot of the other things that were going on at that time, the Vietnam War and all of that. I learned at that point, we talked about community and the Earlham community and the, all was a big thing. And somewhere along the line, I said, why is it that if somebody else is having a bad day or broke up with their boyfriend, I'm supposed to be, continually sad? There's always something to find that you can be sad about. And in these times and in this political situation, it's going to be there all the time. So I really find myself looking out for the places where we can eat, drink, and be merry, where we can hug each other, where we can have dinner together, where we can tell a joke. I have always felt, although my IQ apparently is, perfectly adequate, like I was the stupid fluff in the room, because I didn't always get upset about everything that was going on, that there was somehow some joy and some peace to be found out there. And so I'm now at the point of trying not to apologize for that anymore and to welcome you all to eat, drink, and be merry.
Yeah, that's great. I had a friend down at Hilton Head, Sue, who I think had your attitude. He got a birthday card one time. It showed all these wild animals gathered on the cover of the birthday card. And the big words at the top of the card were, they're getting ready to bulldoze another 40 acres and build a shopping mall. And all these animals are just, terrified. And this one little bunny rabbit is saying, I wonder if they'll have soft serve.
I was trying to talk myself